Hey, so you know how fast things move in crypto? This is kind of like a Monday morning. What do I kind of think the week could bring us? Or let me rephrase that. What do I kind of want out of the week? There's a lot of things could go real bad or real good. And I don't mean necessarily for me, but I mean for Luna. So the update is I did sell a little bit more over the last 24 hours. I still have some weight in the game, let's say, for Luna. So if it goes down, it's a less of a move down because I've pulled out more profits. If it moves up, I'm okay with missing out on those profits. I kind of just crunched some of the numbers and said, hey, if this, it's not really gonna, I know this is gonna sound weird, but it doesn't really make a difference if it goes up 15, 20, 30, 40%. Like the reason of holding would be something like, hey, if this somehow 100x's again, it'd be kind of cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen overnight. That would be depending on what they decide on going forward. So I would rather miss out on, I don't want to say 100% profits, but like what I cashed out from, maybe at least 50%, I'm okay. 100%, it is what it is, because I can then use that money to have it ready for another, I'm not going to say dip, but an opportunity. It might not be crypto. It might be some of it allocated to trading, futures trading, a little bit more weight, little lower leverage. Who knows? But I know it's important to have a little bit of reserves, and that gave me a little bit more reserves. So what I want to talk about here is kind of the variables of what might unfold this week. I'm in this article because I feel like with these articles starting, this would cause the fear, uncertainty, and the doubt. We don't know where the Bitcoins are. I'll use the example of, your insurance, or not your insurance, but like, let's say a fire chief goes to his firemen after they put out a fire. And he goes, well, where's all like the supplies you used to put out the fire? Like, we can't account for it. They're like, well, we used this fire retardant and we used a bunch of water, and we used it to put out the fire, and now it's gone. He's like, well, where's it at? And he's like, I don't know, like the ground. So that's the example I would give. Like, I'm not going to read through this, but saying like, hey, we tried to use it to do this and save this and transfer it here. It sounds like the exact story that you would tell if you either didn't want to tell the whole story, or maybe they did just do all this stuff and completely fuck up. I mean, if you've lost all that. Okay, I'm not laughing because this is real, but like, if they really did sell all that Bitcoin and move it into, Luna or UST and tried to save it, maybe they did lose it all. Or maybe it's some sketchy operation where things are going on. But I feel like the week is primed to drive this thing to the ground. But because I say that, it'll probably do the opposite. So what do I want to happen this week? I think it would be great if they drive the price down to this box, which is like exponential gains if you buy and it goes up, at least for me. And I'd love for, if I could get this off the damn screen, I'd love for the price to come down. I would allocate a certain amount of funds that I'm okay with losing, and I would use some of the funds I sold with profits, and I would throw it in there. And I would wait to see how this whole going forward plan unfolds. I feel like this talk of all this new Luna fork crap, if they're going to allocate 10% to people that bought when it was going down and they tried to save it, I don't really even know if that I get any of that. I mean, I didn't buy that much. 40% goes to people on May 9th before it crashed. Like, the new Luna would just be like an opportunity. If you get some free coins or whatever, and they go up, awesome, long hold, that would be a cool long hold. Or if it's like something that completely crashes, oh well. So I'm in a position now where either, if it goes way up, okay, fine, I sold and I missed out on some profits, but I still had some profits. If it goes down, I remove profits, and my remaining, let's say about 11% of my original holdings, which is still a decent amount. I'll be able to ride some profits up. But I really believe there's going to be, it's not going to be what you think. It's not going to be as straight edged as, oh yeah, the news now is this fork, and the fork is going to happen exactly the way that we said it would happen. I feel like there's wiggle room for them to change it, and this guy says it won't work. Yeah, I feel like this talk of the fork, if they blow it up and do the right media, they're going to crash the current Luna. And then if they don't do the fork, anybody that bought in at this crash will be able to ride any gains in the future. They come out with some weird burn thing or in a combination of that we've never heard of. And if that happens, it means that if you just follow the news and don't try to form your own opinion, it means if you kind of do what they're going to tell you to do, like if they say, hey, the fork is probably going to happen, and they make it a big enough thing and they crash the price, it would essentially mean it's a race to the bottom, because your coins are going to be worth nothing from what they're saying. It would be like, hey, you have $1 worth of coins right now, and it's going to go to 1 cent, but you're going to get some new Luna coins. But we don't know what the value is going to be of those. So I look at it at face value. If they do the fork, anything I have in current Luna is nothing. But if they say that that's going to probably happen, and then the price crashes, and then they don't do it, the opportunity will be down here when people think it's going to happen. And then if they reverse it somehow and say we're not going to do it, you'd be in a good position. Another thing that I feel like is a possibility, and I'm sure there's experts out there who are going to tell me otherwise, but if there's a way that they can launch this new fork, you read it in between the lines, and the media starts picking up on it. They says, oh, your coins are going to be worth nothing, so this is to us, so you better sell. And then you sell, and you get to the bottom, and it's like Luna's dead. It's literally at like the lowest it's ever been. There's like 9 zeros, there's 8 zeros, but in front of the price. And it's just dwindling, and I don't know how long that'll happen. And then like 2 weeks later or a day later, they'll say, oh, by the way, we're doing the fork, but somehow we're going to keep this coin alive as some sort of like a penny stock version. And then this one will skyrocket, because now it's tradable and it's going to stay alive. Now, because Luna will then be in the news even more, people don't always find the correct coin. So because Luna, it's good news for the fork, or they're spinning it as good news, people are going to go and buy this cheaper Luna if they keep both. Like, do you see how it can kind of, even when you think you know what might happen, it's not always going to be the same. There's just too many weird things happening. Like right now, if I look at this, and I sold a little earlier this morning, probably around here, it looks like it might be primed to go back up, and it might open Monday, and there might be some news, and this, laugh at me because I sold some and it's just skyrocketed 50%. Well, I'm comfortable with my position. I don't know what you guys are up to, but I am excited to kind of see where this goes. My real hope is that there's some way that the current Luna would survive if they did a fork and they keep the old one, or they just say they're going to do the fork and abandon it and do something with this one. I think that would be the coolest. If this one really does go to zero, that's the least interesting for me, because we don't have as much in it. Then we're like trusting that when they reallocate the new coins, we're going to get something cool that might be worth something someday. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you're doing.